Welcome to another episode here on A New Life in France. Now this is a very special episode. This is an additional episode to what we normally do. This is much more to do with our other site, forsaleinfrance.com. You might recognise this house if you've been looking at this particular property that we promoted over the weekend. We promoted it over the weekend. It really flew. The agent themselves had 30 odd actual inquiries on this property. So the top end of 70,000 euros. That's all. So nearly 80,000 euros. In terms of that, it's got everything going for it. And lots of people said, well, why? You know, what's the catch? What's the cost? What's everything to go around it? So I was like, right, let's get in the car. Let's go and find out. Let's go and look at the property. We're outside the property. It's Tuesday afternoon. The sun's just there. It's a beautiful sunny day. Countryside around here is lovely. We are at a very rural property with a farm close by, farm traffic, animals, those kind of things that happen that might influence the price. But without further ado, let's go and look inside, let's find out more, and let's tell you the honest truth about this property. Once we're inside the property, we can have a really good look round. But what I wanted to just highlight is I just want to take us through room by room and probably floor by floor what actually is here. And again, people have really got excited by the price. And when we go outside for a second time, going to give you a little bit more information that just helps you to understand where we are in France and why properties are the price that they are. So here we are inside this really lovely house. So I'm in the sitting room. The sitting room goes from front to back. You can see the French windows there that lead out onto the garden. Also then we've got another set of French windows here at the front that go out to the front area of the house as well. Particularly as I'm here, it's later in the day, the sun's coming in. In the summer, the sun will be streaming through there. You'll get the sun setting behind the farm just behind. You'll be setting as well. So you've got lots of light coming through. So the sitting room, you then go into the dining and kitchen area as well. It's a really big open area there, big open area with that lovely table. Go into a big open plan kitchen again with a door outside. So on this ground floor, you've got a lot going for you. You've also got a sort of understairs area as well. Just needs a little bit of boxing in, and actually that turns into a really nice utility room. It's used as a utility space at the moment, but you could box it in just to make it maybe a little bit quieter for washing machines and things like that. But that is there and underneath. So for me, this ground floor, really nicely done, nicely finished, real lovely nod to sort of the old style with it as well, with the proper beams. And again, it's been newly laid in terms of floor on this ground area as well, so really nice new flooring go in. We then go upstairs, and when we go upstairs, we've got that lovely staircase to upstairs. And again, when we're on that first floor, you've got the original floorboards, and they've done a great job there just to give it that character feel as well. And you've got that bedroom in there as well with a little alcovey bit, but that's a nice bedroom. And then you've got that smaller guest bedroom as well up in that area, and then that bathroom, and that's a really nice family bathroom in there again, light and airy in terms of what we've got. So on that first floor, I like it in terms of the compactness and the style, but again, the finish is there and it's done really well. Go up to the second floor, so we're now going up to that attic space. What you've got there, it needs a little bit more work done to it. It hasn't been finished, but it's pretty complete up there as well. That would be a really lovely big bedroom up there. You can see what they've done already, but for me, that probably could be the master bedroom. It's got that alcovey bit as well. It's got the facility there that you could put the ensuite in there. You could put a shower and a toilet, and again, the connections would come down to the bathroom below and then come out. So you could do that to it as well. So it's got the scope to do that. But don't forget, on the first floor, you've already got 2 bedrooms that are there. But that top floor to me with the 2 Veluxes, get that feel of light and airy, and again you see the big skies from this area. And again, if you look out of those windows, you get a little bit of a view into the distance and you get a feel for what is here. So when you look at the inside of the house, it's got everything that you need for whatever you want to be able to do with this. For me, as a family home, this would be nice. This might be a nice couple's home or a nice family home, maybe with a couple of children. You could have that as well. It probably would lend itself, if you really wanted to. You probably could have this maybe as a holiday cottage as well. Just think about where it is, though. It's relatively rural in terms of that, and you've got to think about the 2 gardens. But for me, for the price of this, I think the value is definitely here. When we go outside, we'll look a little bit more at maybe 1 or 2 of the negative points, the lower points of this property. But for me, for the value, this offers great value for the right person or the right people who really want that rural living. Let's go and have a look outside and understand a little bit more about the property, and then just see where you are and see if you want to make an inquiry on this great property. We're now outside in the back garden of the house. So we've seen the front. When we were out the front, we saw that lovely front garden where you just drive in as well. We're now in the back garden, and for me the back garden, a lot more can happen. But also in terms of this is where we find out one or two of the other things just about the property. Now, we are very rural in France, okay? The Creuse is very rural, and in terms of that, I've had a drive around, I've had a look around, and really good feel for this. Across the road is a farm. There are barns across the road. There's also a very active farm that is here as well in this little hamlet. It's a lovely little hamlet. There is a through road. It's not a busy road apart from mainly farm traffic. So within the farm traffic, what you've got here is you've got the mix of arable but mainly livestock in this area. So you've got a lot of cows in this area. Remember, the Creuse is a part of the Limousin. The Limousin is famous for its cattle. There's lots of Limousin cattle around this area. So for me, when I'm looking from this garden, I can see just hills in the distance. It's autumn, the leaves are coming off. I know there's hills going that way as well. There is to the side of me here a barn. That barn is actually part of the farm. And again, just over my shoulder, just over there, again there is a track, and that's the access for the farmer to come through. So there will be farm vehicles coming into this area, and then there's a barn which they'll probably use for storage, and again I can see some bales over there. So in terms of that, it's a very working area in terms of farm. So there's going to be traffic coming through. I don't think the farmer's going to be coming through every day. He's going to come through, maybe wants a bit of haylage to take out, or maybe he's going to take his cattle through occasionally. There is a field just across the other side here. There's no cattle in that. I don't think there have been cattle, and there's a field over here. So we are super rural. As I said earlier in the opening, we're probably very similar to, say, Yorkshire or Mid Wales or Devon, that kind of feel, that kind of ruralness to it. So it's rural. It's not that rural idyll that a lot of people think about. You just sit in my garden, it's lovely, it's quiet. You know, this is France. France is about countryside, it's about farming. So you will have the noise of farm animals, you will have the noise of tractors, but it's definitely not constant. As I'm here, you can hear the birds singing, which is lovely. You can hardly hear anything in the background. There's also probably just a couple of fields away as well, there is the local chasse, and they have their dogs there. So they are hunting dogs. Nothing wrong with hunting dogs at all. There are absolutely no harm to people at all, but they are there as hunting dogs. And then you will get the noise of those hunts dogs through the day. Just every so often something will make them bark, sometimes when they're getting fed as well, but again, it's not a constant noise. I'm here, I'm talking. If they were actually making noise, I would hear them now. So it's not a constant noise, but it's just another noise about being in the countryside. You have to remember that so much of France is rural, and comes with that is farming, is agriculture, but also in terms of that, keeping numbers of, say, the wild boar down is a really serious thing here in France. And so with that, the chasse is a big thing. You know, the local hunt is a big thing, and it doesn't matter what people's thoughts are on that type of sport, it happens here in France. So this isn't a thing about that, it's just for you to understand that the hunt happens. They have to keep numbers down, otherwise that has a major impact on farming, on the maize, on the corn and everything else that is grown. So it does have an impact, so it happens. So therefore we are super rural, and you get those things. You get farming, you get hunting, it all comes together, and that's why it's there. And again, that's why if you're looking from the UK, that's what I really say, it's very similar to parts of Yorkshire, parts of Devon, parts of Mid Wales, that's still very much like that. But for me, I'd be putting some laurels in, maybe some quick growing laurels, just to take some of it out as well. But as the sun comes round in summer in particular, I'm later in the day and we're in autumn, we're now into November, as the sun comes round, this will get that lovely morning sun. The sun will come through, it'll get afternoon sun as well. As the sun is coming around there, it'll come into the rest of this garden. For me, the garden's really plain at the moment, it's just grass. I'd be putting something on here. I'd be putting a bit of laurels in. I'd be making sure I enjoyed my garden that's here. I might actually put maybe a sort of pagoda over in the corner there, subject to planning, all the things, talk to the Marie, but you put something over there to make that nice, a bit more of a raised area there. I'd actually probably do a little bit more in the terracing out here as well, so I could step out onto that terracing. So for me, again, it's got so much to offer, but the reason on the price is, one, where we are, we're in the Creuse. It's one of the least inhabited places in France, so the number of inhabitants per square kilometre is one of the lowest in France. That means there's not many people. There's plenty of animals, there's plenty of farming, because it's super rural, and what comes with that is active farms and everything that goes on with that. For me, I'm a country person, I'm a country boy. I'd be very happy here, and for that price I'd be certainly happy. And actually, to me, it's very similar to probably to the house that my wife and I and the family we have. It's a little bit bigger than this, and again, it's in a hamlet, it's rural, we see the farmer every day, we see the hunt every so often, so we're sort of used to that. So for me, I wouldn't have a problem here. If you're coming from a town, you'd be like, oh, I wanted this rural idyll in France. This may not be for you, but for those of you that go, I want to enjoy the countryside, I want space. It's a lovely house in there, you've got the barns as well that you could do even more with, and you've got a lovely garden that you could enjoy as well. You could put a pool in here, above ground pool. There's so much you could do in this garden area without it being high maintenance, because it's not a massive garden, but it's a big garden, particularly if you compared it to, say, something in the UK. So for me, when you look at the price, and if you think of it from the UK, you're in that £60,000 for this. It's unbelievable in terms of that. I don't think you could buy a mobile home on a site for that. It's probably twice that in the UK. So when you think about that in terms of those numbers, that's why this property is a lower price, and property that's rural in France will be lower. Doesn't mean there's something wrong with it. I'm stood on top of the septic tank. I'm on top of one of the platforms here, and there's another one there. I doubt it conforms, and actually the whole thing around septic tanks, particularly over the last 2 to 3 years, things have changed in terms of the conformity. So again, if you're buying this property, you'll have the diagnostics report. It would tell you where you are with that, and that's something to think about. So I'm going to say it probably doesn't conform, but I don't know. Again, that would be something you need to think about in terms of the pricing. You'd probably get a microstation in for this kind of thing. Probably be looking maybe 5,000 to 7,000 to put that in. Think about that, maybe just a touch less, but actually, you know, conservatively think of that kind of figure if you're putting that in. I know some people have asked about, you know, it's furnished, could that be included? All of these things can be asked about. Now, for me, I'm not an estate agent. I have no interest in selling this property. What we do on A New Life in France and For Sale in France, we want to tell you about properties. We also want to tell you about warts and all. We don't get anything from agents. So for us, we actually have no motivation to go, oh, this is a wonderful property, come and buy it. We don't get anything out of it. What we make our money from is from advertising. So when you're looking at our YouTube channel, you're looking at our websites, you know, those eyes have a value. So we make our money on advertising. So I love coming around properties like this because I can tell you a bit of warts and all what it's actually like. So for me, I like this property. I think in terms of its situation, for the value and the money it is, you have to remember you pay for what you get. And here, I think this is great value. It's in a lovely little hamlet. There is a through road, but it's not very busy. You've got farm buildings here. They are at the back of your house. Bit of planting would make a difference. But you get the sun coming round, it's peaceful. I've been talking away here, still no noise, there's still no tractors, there's still no nothing. There might be something, but there hasn't been. And so for me, again, you know, the hunt dogs are over the distance, can't hear them either. So when you think about that, come and have a look around. Only you can make that choice. But as I really have said, probably a septic tank. The inside is great. It just needs a little bit of finishing up. You could have a lovely master bedroom on that second floor. You've got barns that you could do stuff with as well. You've got this garden that's really untouched and just needs a bit of vision to be able to enjoy it. So it has got a lot going for it. So I just encourage you, if it's the kind of thing you want, and again, I've been really honest with barns here, farm traffic coming along that track. I'm telling you what is here in my view that I would be thinking about. I've already got a solution if it was me buying it. I'd put some laurels and a bit of trees, and it wouldn't completely take away from it, but it doesn't need to. It's quite a nice old barn. There's a bit of modern stuff there as well, and you've got the track where tractors are going to go. As I said, you know, you look at that track, it's used, but it's not used every day, that is for sure. So those will be the things probably why this property is just wanting to sell and the price has been lowered. Now, the couple who've had the house, they've had the house for 20 years, so I've asked the agent about that. So they lived here happily up until COVID. COVID flipped everything around for them, and now they find themselves back in the UK, and they've really decided now that they want to be back in the UK, so they've decided to put this house on the market, and that's what it is. So if somebody's lived here for 20 odd years, I don't think they had a problem here. If they'd have been maybe here for a year or two, you might have questioned it, but it wasn't, and then COVID comes through. So for me, think about that. It's there. I'm trying to make it as honest as possible for you to make that decision about going, shall I contact the agent or not? I know we put this out on our channels over the weekend. We gave it a real good push. We know there's been 30 or 40 inquiries on this property. Some people have said, no, not for me, because they've spoken to the agent. Others have said, yes, we want to come and view. So this is really popular. This is not going to hang around, that is for sure. But the only real way to know about it is, do you want to live rurally? Are you happy with an active farm nearby? Are you happy with farm vehicles going around every so often, and occasionally the hunt dogs will be barking that comes in there? Apart from that, you're going to have a lovely house. You're going to be able to enjoy it, the gardens, the views. I mean, the countryside around here is absolutely stunning. You've got lots of what they call chemins, so in a way they're like bridle ways, so you could take your dogs through there, you could go for lovely walks even without dogs, you can cycle round here. It's got lots of things going for it in terms of that, and again, as I said in the opening, in terms of its situation, it is in the Creuse. We're not far from La Souterraine. La Souterraine is a good town, you'll have everything you want from there, and also you've got communication routes in terms of the train. You can get the train up to Paris, but also we are near 2 motorways. We've got motorways that we can get across to Lyon, if you want to go across that way to France. Also then we can either go up to Paris, or all the way down to Bordeaux and down to Toulouse as well. So you've got all of these motorway links, you've got everything that's going for it. So I think this is great, but it's proper rural. I hope you've enjoyed this special episode on a new life in France in conjunction with our sister site, forsaleinfrance.com. Remember, we've got our property site and we've also got our warts and all about everything to do with France. So we wanted to bring this special episode just in terms of the response of everybody going on to the Facebook and making comments. What about the property? What about this? What about that? We wanted to tell you about that today. So do remember to press that subscribe button. You can subscribe to our channel and you will get notification of every single episode that we do, be that about moving to France, be that about a property, be it about things like septic tanks, or even the tax on properties, or even currency exchange. We have everything there for you to have. So please subscribe, enjoy it, and join us next time.